Hey everybody, welcome to MT Guitar. Today we're covering the 7 essential concepts of minor, in my opinion. With these 7 concepts, you should have a really strong grasp of at least the foundations of how minor works from a few different angles, from a few different methodologies. I always think that sort of, looking at things through different lenses, different filters, different approaches, etc., is always a good way to go, as opposed to just thinking, well, I got to understand minor all or nothing through this one lens. So we're going to start with perhaps the first essential that I think a lot of people are familiar with, and that's relative minor. All right, so I'm going to talk about not only relative minor, but how we can see it in songs that we know, how we can practice it. All right, so stick around for that. I think you'll like it. So if we take a C major, all right, we would have the following notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Now, those are no flats or sharps, and that's why we start with C a lot of times in teaching. It's just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C, and then we repeat the octave. But if we start that same scale from A and end on A, we would have automatically a natural minor. Okay? You'll notice that the C major and A minor chords look very similar. Now, if we number our major scale 1 through 8, and we just start on the 6th mode, or the 6th note of this scale, we would have, again, natural minor. Okay, now you may wonder, well, that's great. The theory is interesting. It's nice to know that the minor is the 6th mode. But that's just the very first essential. And to start putting that essential into use, you would want to notice all the 6 chords of any song you know. All right? I'm just going to throw out a bunch of songs here. You'll find the 6th chord in almost 90% of major key songs, if not more. So, Time of Your Life by Green Day, My Sweet Lord by George Harrison, I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles, all have 6 chords. Landslide is just really going back and forth between the 1 and 6. I know there's a capo on here. We have a C, G over B. Okay, it's kind of a passing chord to the 6th chord here, which is A minor 7. Okay, Wish You Were Here. The intro is literally just going back and forth between the key of G major, okay, and relative minor, the 6th chord. That's an E minor right there. It's the 6th chord. So that intro, you could just literally put on that intro after this video and run G major pentatonic, but then switch to E minor pentatonic, and it's the 6th mode of G. It's the same exact note. So E minor, back to G, okay? There'll be a study guide for this on the Patreon. It's a great way to support the channel. Really appreciate you checking it out. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and the thumbs up. Really appreciate it. All right, so essential number 2 is minor pentatonic is probably the most practical and useful scale for any guitarist, especially somebody interested in any type of lead playing. Now, the guitar really has deep roots in the blues and in rock and roll. And both of those genres, right, both of those art forms have a deep root in minor pentatonic. So, my first teacher told me you can never learn the minor pentatonic too well. Okay, you can never practice it too much. So you'd want to take maybe this position that we're all familiar with here. And if you're not familiar with, here it is, right? That's an A minor pentatonic. The notes are A, C, D, E, G, and then you repeat A, C, D, E, G. Okay. But we want to start thinking of this as our 1, not as our 6, because we're really not in C major anymore. We're in A minor. So this is called parallel minor. So I'm going to take this as my 1. C is now flat 3. I'll explain what that means in a bit. D is 4, E is 5, G is flat 7. 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. All up and down the neck. 1, flat 3, 4, 5. 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 Doesn't matter. No matter where you are on the fretboard, you will have the same 5 notes if you play A minor pentatonic, no matter what the position is or what the fret is, okay? you can play A minor pentatonic anywhere. So you would want to start to combine a couple shapes. So here's a shape, and here's a shape. All right, so I might put on an A minor track. Let's say I'm playing along to Californication. Okay, that's an A minor. House of the Rising Sun is an A minor. Stairway to Heaven is an A minor, especially the solo part. Okay, let's say I want to put that on and run, let's say, Stairway to Heaven. Okay, now I'm going to run 2 positions back and forth. Let's loop this. And I'm going to run this position and try to combine it with the next position. So now I'm moving back and forth. And that would be a worthy assignment for the whole day. You don't need to just rush through a bunch of assignments. Just do that one thing for even a week, and you'll never regret it, right? Because then you'll have these 2 positions of minor pentatonic kind of solid. Then you would run through this one, combine it with this one. Okay, so you would say, the fingerings don't matter. Who cares about the fingerings? As long as you're hitting the right notes. The fingerings matter for your muscle memory when you're learning the position. But let's say you run the position for 20 minutes, whatever fingering you want, but here's what I recommend. Then you just make music. And I don't care about the fingerings. I care about the notes. All right? Oh, one more thing before we move on to essential number 3 is you can play the minor pentatonic over major chords and give it a blues sound, all right? If I have an A major, especially an A dominant 7. All right, the third essential is we can take our minor pentatonic from number 2 here and just add in 2 notes, and we'd automatically have the complete minor scale without thinking of a mode. We're just doing minor. So if I run my, my A minor scale, and I want to add the 2 notes to make it a full natural minor scale. Pentatonic means 5, but the diatonic scale is 7 notes. So we're adding 2 notes in. We're going to add the 2nd degree, or B. There's the flat 3 again from the minor pentatonic. 4, 5, D, and E. Now we're going to add the F in. There's the flat 6. And then our G or flat 7. So, next octave. One assignment you can try is to basically just switch between the minor pentatonic and natural minor. And you'll find that with Gilmore's playing and well, everybody's playing really. If I just say, kind of that stuff, and then all of a sudden I go. It just provides a whole nother breath of life into that sound, and it's something that when you do it, it kind of turns a few heads, and people think, oh, he's not playing the standard minor pentatonic there, if they know what that is. Or they'll just say, that sounds cool, right? All right, essential number 4 is we can actually put scale degrees to all 7 notes and have a full key. So now we can understand chord progressions, which are be coming up here. All right, so let's go through these notes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and then 1. So that gives us the 7 notes. It's parallel minor if we compare it with major. So here's major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to flat the 3, 6, and 7. I wouldn't finger it like that as a beginner, but it's kind of nice to mess around with that. What if I did a parallel exercise where I played an A major to an A minor and ran both my scales? 3, 4. And then minor. Here. going to go to parallel minor. Back to major. Minor. Minor pentatonic school. Okay. Kind of a cool sound as well. All right, number 5, we're really packing a lot in here, so stick with me because I'm going to give you a few tips and a few songs to try this over. Number 5 is that a major chord and a minor chord are actually the inverse of each other. They're like a mirrored image. So what I mean is if we take a C major chord, okay, I'd have C, E, and G, okay, and then C again. Now, I have a major third right away, meaning the interval between C and E is a major third. That's just what the interval is. Between E and G is a minor third, and that's because E to F is a half step, and then F to G is a whole step. So this is some basic music theory here. Major third, minor third. That's what creates a major triad. If I flat the third, I create a C minor triad. Now, the reason it's an inverse of C major is because I have a minor third, C to E flat, and a major third, E flat to G. So instead of a major third, minor third like in major, we have a minor third, major third in minor. It's kind of a tongue twister, isn't it? So, major, minor. Now we don't see the C minor be played as an open chord because the first string is open E, and that's going to be a problem. So, we can just do it like that. But you can also see with the bar chord, here's a C major triad on top. There's a C minor triad. We see that instead of a major third, minor third, we have a minor third, major third. Okay. Now, essential number 6, just like the major key, the minor key has its own Roman numerals. Roman numerals are the language of chords within a key. So if I'm in the key of A minor, I would have 7 chords that I can play, okay? And, well, I can play any chord I want, right? We're not shackled by theory. In fact, some of the coolest songs and some of the coolest chords are when it's outside of the key. So don't let it limit you. But if we were to stick inside the key of A minor, we could have 7 chords, all right? So we're going to skip the 2 chord because it's diminished, and we don't really use that a lot. But we're going to say that the 1 chord is minor, the 4 chord is minor, and the 5 chord is minor. The 5 chord can be major, but I'll talk about that in a sec. So 1 chord, 4, 5 is minor. Okay? Just like in major, we have 1, 4, 5 is major. In the minor key, it's 1, 4, 5 is minor. The flat 3 is major, the flat 6 is major, and the flat 7 is major. So, if I had a loop, I could practice my Roman numerals by just picking any of those chords. 1, 4, 5 minor, flat 3, flat 6, flat 7 major. So I could say 1 to 4, flat 3. Flat 7. Instant songwriting. I mean, it's not a song, but it's a chord progression to jam over, and I could practice my A minor over that. Okay? No problem with that. The 5 chord can be major because the 5 chord can always be major even if it's in a minor key because the third of E is G sharp, and that's the leading tone of A. Okay? So it's either one. Modern styles tend to favor the minor 5, whereas more like 60s, 70s tend to favor the major. And that's another discussion about why. But it has to do with the fact that 5 chord as major is more functional, and we don't really care about that in modern styles as much. All right? Now, last but not least is the 7th essential, and then I'm going to give you some songs to try this over. The 7th essential is that we don't have to play natural minor or Aeolian only. We can play Dorian or Phrygian, and there's others. There's also harmonic minor. So let's talk about those. What would Dorian be? Well, Dorian would be the 2nd mode of major. So anytime there's a 2 chord, like on Wish You Were Here, 4 chord, 5 chord, here's the A minor, that's a 2 chord of G. I could play Dorian right over that, but the chord doesn't last that long. So I wouldn't say that I think about it like that quite so often, but what I do think about is oftentimes a song will be in Dorian. So Breathe by Pink Floyd is in Dorian. It's an E minor Dorian, and that's because the 4 chord is major and it gives us this natural 6. So the way to think about Dorian is it's a natural minor with a natural 6. So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. Okay? You can also do Phrygian, and that's a flat 2 with a natural minor scale with a flat 2. Oftentimes you'll see an F major chord in E minor Phrygian. That's that Phrygian sound. Some people say it's quite Spanish sounding. Okay? So that's something you can do. That's why we teach major, because from major you can just flat notes and create any mode you like. Go ahead and try your minor pentatonic and your natural minor scales along with the following songs: Californication, Stairway to Heaven, Hotel California, try it in B minor, Heart of Gold by Neil Young, try it in E minor, All Along the Watchtower by Hendrix, try it in C sharp minor, or by Bob Dylan, try it in A minor. Smooth by Santana, I think it's D minor. Let's see. No, it's A minor. All right. Beat It, E minor. Okay, I didn't prepare any of these. And etc. Voodoo Child, E minor. So try the minor scale. These are all minor key songs. So as you're doing that, go for the pentatonic scales, go for the natural minor scales. Think about the scale degrees if you can, and try to combine the positions so that you're playing in a fluid manner. Hopefully that makes sense. There'll be a tab for this on the Patreon with it all written out, and I really appreciate your support. Take care.